Kevin Garnett just dropped a bomb about Caitlin Clark. While many WNBA legends have been busy criticizing Caitlin, certified NBA Hall of Famers like KG have been watching her every move carefully. Garnett has noticed something that got the whole NBA world buzzing with excitement and the rest of the league, trembling in fear of what Caitlin will be able to do now. Most of us have been more accustomed to hearing people criticize Caitlin, and you talk about holes in her game, as if she wasn't a mere rookie but a veteran superstar. So because everyone was so busy looking at her flaws and nitpicking every error she made, Caitlin has been able to transcend the negativity and become an even more impressive player. As KG pointed out, Caitlin has been doing her homework, transforming into a beast. That's why you hear Clark's name mentioned in the same breath with some of the league's superstars so early in her career. Here's what Kevin Garnett said about Caitlin Clark and what that means for the rest of the WNBA. Kevin Garnett doesn't need much introducing. He's not only one of the best players of his generation, but he's one of the best ever. A 15-time All-Star, Defensive Player of the Year, and an MVP. You can't discuss the best power forwards ever without discussing him. That means when KG is giving you compliments, you're doing something right. As the WNBA season got back on track after the break, KG was watching, glued to his screen. Like millions of others, he sat down to watch Cece's first game back, and when he saw her play, he knew something was different about her. Her movement, instincts, shot selection. Everything was looking more polished than before. How could she gotten so better in such a short time? Then Garnett realized what had happened. He took X to comment on the whole situation. KG noted, "What if Caitlin Clark's Olympic break was the off-season adjustment for the league that WNBA rookies don't get before their first season? She looked crazy out there yesterday. You can tell she was in the film room." In most cases, rookies fail to adapt to the NBA, whether they've played college or professionally abroad. That's because the NBA for both male and female athletes is so much more advanced than other sports leagues that it takes a lot of time to adjust. In the first season, you might see a glimpse of how a certain player will look after they develop. You can see it in highlights, some games, even playoff series. Only after the rookie season is done does the player have time to sit back, reevaluate their efforts, and make adjustments that will allow them to play better in their sophomore year. It seems, for Caitlin, all it took was this month-long break in the middle of the season to improve a lot of flaws and take her game to a whole nother level. Since she was infamously snubbed from the Team USA that played in the 2024 Olympics, she had a lot of motivation to become better at every aspect of her game. So how did her game look? How good was Caitlin that she managed to turn Kevin freaking Garnett into a believer? In one word, sensational. Caitlin's recent comeback game against the Phoenix Mercury was simply a statement saying, "I'm here and I'm not going anywhere," so it's no wonder it's got the entire WNBA talking about it on and offline. With a packed house of over 17,000 fans watching, Clark dominated Phoenix like Jordan did in 1993. Her 29 points, 10 assists, and 5 rebounds were impressive on their own, but it was the way she dictated the flow of the game that really stole the spotlight.
You know, we're trying to do these last 14 as just one game at a time. Just take it one game at a time, and for us to come out and play a really great game. And honestly, the Mercury played really, really well last night too versus the Sky. So you knew they were going to come in here with a lot of confidence. With 3 people that have won gold medals, they're coming in here, their confidence is really high. And I thought we came out in the first quarter and really set the tone. But for us, it's just one game at a time. Every single game is going to be difficult. But like I said, I think the ones that we have here at home, and we're lucky enough to have quite a few at home, these last 14 games that we really need to nail down and win.
Right from the tip-off, you could see that Clark was in complete control. Her ability to read the Mercury's defense, make quick, decisive plays, and execute with precision was a clear demonstration of her high basketball IQ. One moment that perfectly captured her mastery came in the third quarter when she split 2 defenders and drove to the basket with such finesse that it left everyone in the stands buzzing. It was a play that looked smooth and natural, but behind it were countless hours of preparation and study. Clark's time during the Olympic break proved invaluable. While others were busy competing in Paris, she used the break to her advantage, treating it as a mini off-season to work on her game. This period allowed her to fine-tune her skills and return to the court sharper and more confident. Kevin Garnett's comments about her dedication to studying film weren't just empty praise. Clark demonstrated on the court that she had absorbed everything she learned and applied it with remarkable effectiveness.
I think just getting to know my teammates and, playing with them, it's just a comfortability. It was going to take me a little bit of time to get used to. It was hard to adjust, and, once I kind of found my groove so far, I think we've just been getting better and better.
Okay, but how did she manage to do all of this in how much time? A single month. You'll agree that people don't usually become so much more confident in 30 days. How did Caitlin Clark went from an unsure rookie to a player that looks in full control at all times? As Kevin Garnett said, while everyone was resting, she was doing her homework. During the Olympics, while the team was fighting to get the gold and while other players were on a break, Caitlin did things a bit more differently. She was putting in serious hours, both on the court and off it. When she wasn't practicing, she was locked in the team's film room watching previous games, scouting reports, her game plays, and a whole lot of other things. This definitely wasn't your average film watching routine. No sir, Clark was on a mission to take her game to the next level. While we can't say this 100%, from the way she elevated her game, it seems that Clark doesn't just watch the scouting report. Instead, she looks into every small detail, watching full games, looking for patterns, and figuring out how plays unfold in real time. These things can give you an advantage on the court when it really matters. Caitlin now seems to anticipate what her opponents will try to do before they even start executing the play. Of course, this isn't anything groundbreaking. Players have done this stuff for years. Slowing down footage of players, zooming in to see how they teleplay their moves, you look for little subtle signs, feet movement, head fakes, and overall body language. These are all things that can give up your moves to the opponent. Since you're playing in the best league in the world and you're going against the best, by watching film, you're also learning from the best. We think when KG said Caitlin's game studies have helped her improve her command of the ball, pacing, and even footwork, he was 100% right. This kind of dedication is what separates her from the pack. The fascinating thing about it is her age. Not a lot of athletes show this much improvement during their first season while in their early 20s. It's rare for men who have been playing at a professional level longer than the ladies. So for female athletes, this is extremely rare.
Hey, you be studying my arms?
Yeah, you got some good arms.
Yeah, I do. Very nice.
Caitlin Clark quickly discovered that the physical intensity of the WNBA was a whole different ballgame compared to her college experience. Just 2 games into her rookie season, she found herself being face-guarded even when she didn't have the ball, a clear sign that opponents were zeroing in on her. The league's physicality became even more apparent when Chennedy Carter knocked her to the floor, sparking conversations across the WNBA about the need to protect standout players like Clark, who were being targeted for their exceptional skills. Now, we're not going to lie, just by looking at Caitlin Clark, you wouldn't notice a huge difference. She didn't become a bodybuilder. Again, in such a short time, no matter how athletically gifted you are, you can't just transform yourself. But she's been getting stronger. Day by day, month by month, her body has been becoming stronger and stronger.
Getting back in game shape has been, I think, pretty easy. I mean, we've been competing really hard in practice and playing versus our guys live. We've had refs come in basically, I think, 5 different times, and we've been playing live. We've just been scrimmaging, and that's the best way to stay in basketball shape is just play live basketball, but obviously it's going to be really hard to replicate a real game, so it felt good to get back out there.
Her training regimen has been consistent for the entire season, but for the break, Caitlin went pretty hard in the weight room, as she put it, to build the extra muscle needed to withstand the league's physical demands.
Yeah, I'm small, but I try to hold my own the best I can, and it's actually funny. We were playing live the other day, and I was backing down E-Dub, and E-Dub's like, man, I thought I was just gonna push you out of the way, but you're a little stronger than I thought. I was like, yeah, E-Dub, don't mess with me, but I don't know. I think I'm discreetly strong. I'm never gonna be the strongest person, and I know that. I try to, put on some weight, and I've been working hard in the weight room, and obviously there's some limits to that and what I can do, obviously being in the season, but over the course of the last 3 weeks or so, we've all been going pretty hard in the weight room. I haven't been very happy with our strength coach. I've been very sore, and it's been hard to shoot some days, but I think it's definitely going to help me down the stretch to have that extra little muscle. Whether I actually have it or not, we don't really know.
Caitlin Clark's arrival at the Indiana Fever has been nothing short of revolutionary for both the team and the entire WNBA. Drafted as the No. 1 pick in 2024, Clark joined a Fever squad that had struggled the previous season and was in dire need of a catalyst. Clark didn't just provide the spark they needed, she ignited a full-scale turnaround. The Fever, once considered a rebuilding team, are now in the thick of the playoff hunt with a 13-15 record, and much of that success can be traced directly to Clark's leadership and exceptional playmaking.
But I'm really proud of us. I thought, there would be times throughout the year where we kind of crumble when we gave up a huge lead. What was our biggest lead? 28. Yeah, and it got down to 1, I think. So, I think there's times where we would have crumbled, but we just kept battling and fighting, and I thought it was a really good win for us.
But Clark's impact goes beyond the win-loss column. Her dynamic presence has made the Fever a team that fans and commentators can't help but watch. With her electrifying style of play and her knack for stepping up in clutch moments, Clark has turned every Fever game into a must-see event. This surge in interest isn't just lifting the Fever, it's elevating the entire WNBA. Clark is drawing in new fans, boosting television ratings, and packing arenas wherever she plays, helping to raise the profile of women's basketball across the board. Besides revitalizing the Fever, Clark has also positioned herself as a top contender for both Rookie of the Year and MVP honors. Her ability to lead a young team, shatter records, and hold her own against the league's best players makes her a standout among rookies. Clark isn't just another talented player entering the league, she's a game changer, helping to push the WNBA to new heights. As she continues to grow and evolve, there's no doubt that her influence will keep expanding, solidifying her as one of the most significant figures in women's basketball today. This isn't the first time we said this, nor it will be the last, but it bears repeating. Caitlin Clark was just the WNBA needed. She came into the game at the right time, under the right circumstances, with the right attitude. Her play style, skill set, and overall star power have attracted people from every continent to start watching women's basketball. That's not something a lot of girls can say they did. Only a handful throughout history, if we're being honest. And just when we thought her rookie season couldn't get any better, she elevates her game to a level not many thought she could as an inexperienced rookie. If she continues drilling, studying game tapes, and strengthening her body, by the time her second season rolls around, she'll become a monster. We're talking MVP level playing. She's already one of the top 25 players in the league, and a lock-in for the Rookie of the Year award. But we suspect that's just the beginning of CC's journey. If you enjoyed watching our video, don't forget to click that like button before you go. As always, if you want to stay in the loop with all things WNBA and want regular Caitlin Clark updates, make sure to subscribe to our channel right away. Lastly, click that bell to get notified every time a video is uploaded.